I'd like to read this book to you that's really a favorite book of mine by Barbara Reid. Barbara Reid does her own illustrations in books, and what I think is so amazing is all the illustrations are done with plasticine. So she takes plasticine, which is just like Play-Doh, and she makes pictures with it. So you can look at this picture really closely, and she lays it all very flat and sculpts with plasticine the picture she wants, and then she takes a photograph of it and it becomes part of the book. So really cool. And Barbara Reid, of course, did this book called Gifts. Look at this tea kettle that has a dragon, a teapot, sorry, that has a dragon on it, and she's pouring, or someone's pouring, a cup of tea. And that's all done with plasticine. Even the smoke or steam that's coming out of the teacup is done with plasticine. Even this hand, look how beautiful. The plasticine is used to make the hand, it looks just like a real hand. And it's all done with laying plasticine. And maybe you can do this with your mom or your teacher, or for fun, you can get some plasticine and try and make designs on a cookie sheet and take a picture. My grandma, when traveling, said, "What would you have me bring?" Look at her going off. Does she look just like me? All done. Look at the picture really closely. How beautifully her face is done with plasticine. "Not much," said I, "just a piece of the sky, and 100 songs I can sing." There's Grandma pushing it around the swing. Is that Matilda? Look at this beautiful tree. My grandma went to Africa, said, "What would you have me bring?" "Just a baobab seed. That's all I need." And that's a baobab tree. They're just beautiful, beautiful trees. They lose all their leaves part of the year. And a roar from the Jungle King. Grandma's dressed up like she's on a safari, and the little girl is roaring just like the Jungle King. What animal is a Jungle King? What do you think? My grandma went to Australia, said, "What would you have me bring?" Just a didgeridoo, a didgeridoo, a didgeridoo. That's a hard word to say. Some billabong and a boomerang I can fling. So here she is. Here's Grandma. It looks like she's got a microphone so she can sing. There's the boomerang. A boomerang, you throw it and it comes right back to you. It's almost like magic. My grandma went to Mexico, said, "What would you have me bring?" Just a sunrise kissed by the morning mist. Look at the beautiful sunrise. And the whir of a hummingbird's wing. My grandma went to Hawaii, said, "What would you have me bring?" Ben's been to Hawaii. There's a lei made of flowers around her neck. Just the secret wish of a flying fish and a rainbow to wear as a ring. Look at the flying fish. fish actually jump out of the water and they look like they might be flying, but they're just using propulsion that gets them high above the water and then they jump back in. So they're not really flying. Can you wear a rainbow as a ring? My grandma went to the Arctic, said, "What would you have me bring?" "Just a long white hair from a polar bear." "And an iceberg on a string." I don't think you could catch an iceberg on a string, but Grandma's been all over the world. My grandma went to India, said, "What would you have me bring?" "Just something nice like curry and rice and a sitar's twang and zing." This is a musical instrument like a sitar, and it has strings, just like a guitar, but its sound is a little different. And there's the Taj Mahal, one of the most beautiful buildings in the entire world, and an elephant. And they're eating curry and rice. Do you like curry? Do you like rice? My grandma went to Switzerland, said, "What would you have me bring?" "Just a chunk of cheese and a mountain, please, and a bell that goes ding-a-ling-ling." So there's beautiful mountains in Switzerland called the Alps. And they make cheese. Ellie, Molly, the dogs are barking. My grandma went to China, said, "What would you have me bring?" "Just something small from beside the Great Wall." "And a memory from Beijing." Ben, your Chinese grandma came from China. My grandma went to England, said, "What would you have me bring?" Just the smell of rain from a shady lane and a ride on a... I'm going to read that page again because the dogs were barking so much. "Just the smell of rain from a shady lane and a ride on a garden swing." That's England. My gran had such a wonderful time that now we are going to, and everything she gave to me, I'm going to give to you. They've got a globe in there. So I think this is an amazing book, and if you took a map of the world, get mom to help you or dad to help you, get a map of the world and find each of these places on the map where Grandma went. So I'm going to remind you what they are. She went to Africa. She went to Australia. She went to Mexico. She went to Hawaii. She went to the Arctic. She went to India. She went to Switzerland. She went to China. And she went to England. And you could find all those places on a map and put a little sticky note there to remind you where they are in our whole big world and all the gifts that Grandma brought.